Did a great job, had his team really prepared. We obviously turned it over 6 of our first 7 possessions. I think the opening bucket or the opening play went to KP, Kenny Poto, and then the next 6 we turned it over, and so just didn't handle their pressure very well. But then I thought we settled down and made a game out of it. Just unfortunately, we just couldn't dig ourselves out of an early hole.
Coach, time and time again, you guys would cut that deficit down to 1 possession. Then Mizzou just always had an answer. What was it about trying to get over that hump that just didn't work for you today?
Yeah, you think back to it, we had a really good look from the right wing. O'Board had another good look at the top of the key, go down, get a stop. Really good shooter in Dalen Rignall gets a corner 3. We don't make it. They go down. 55 makes one after the Connor Vanover kick out. And, and I thought there when it was 71-68, when Sean East makes that play, I thought that's a big play. So we had 3 chances. They had 1, and they capitalized on it. And really proud of our group, just given the hole that we kind of dug ourselves in, just the resiliency, and we'll learn to play better. We just didn't do a good job spacing the floor, and no offense to, we had kind of a tournament setting when we played Coastal Carolina. This was a road game with a really hostile crowd, and we'll learn from this.
Coach, what do you think about Harlond just keep responding to their pressure and eventually, I think a 7-0 run there down the stretch. Just what did you like from him and just how he responded to adversity?
Well, if you look at it, when you out-rebound a team by 17 and you hold them to 40%, you're going to have a chance to win a basketball game. And I've been through this before where you double up the rebounds on another team, but you don't take care of the ball. And sometimes you watch players when, especially if turnovers are early, they get frustrated. Harlan didn't do any of that. If you look, he led us in rebounding. He gets 17 rebounds by himself, and just did a phenomenal job. If half of their shots, which is how they play, are going to be from 3, you realize that the majority of the rebounds are going to come to your guards. And so Harlan being willing to stick his nose in there and make plays, I thought, you obviously wish you could run it back, but I thought the early drags really helped us, and more importantly allowed Harlan. And then we just didn't do a good job with our angles in the first half, and that got better in the second half, and we were able to chip away a little bit. But his rebounding ability, and then after the early turnovers, he really settled down.
And what was it about Missouri's pressure? Is it just the constant, just 94 feet, or what kind of stood out to you?
Yeah, I don't think so. It wasn't, our turnovers weren't in the full court. They were in the half court. A lot of that's on me. We tried to go in early through some set instead of playing out of formations. We should have played out of formations a lot more than what we did, especially early. And I thought once guys understood what we were trying to do at halftime, we were able to kind of chip away there. But we've got to do a better job on formations rather than try to get a ball to a specific person.
And Harlan, tell me about just so many turnovers to start the game. How hard is it not to get frustrated and get frazzled on the road? Like, how did you guys respond to that, I guess?
I get frustrated. You give yourself an expectation and a standard to play at, and then when you don't necessarily live up to that standard in your own eyes, that's frustrating. I look at it as about 40% of our turnovers if you just cut that in half, it's a 1-2 point game, probably a lot earlier than with four minutes to go, if that was correct. So it's just being able to keep your emotions in check, being able to understand that you won't be perfect, even though that is the goal. People get frustrated, but it's just the response, and I feel like I was even enough.
Harlan, can you just touch on the Mizzou defense? What was it about it that gave you guys trouble? You guys have been pretty good about taking care of the ball all year.
I don't necessarily have an answer for that. I feel like we were very prepared. We understood what their game plan was, and I feel like as players, we didn't necessarily attack our game plan at the beginning as well as we could have. I feel like really we were chasing the whole game after being down, was it 8-0 to begin. So I think we have to start better and execute better in the beginning of the game.
And Coach, I just feel like you mentioned just like the advantage on the rebounding. Did it feel like you guys capitalized as much as you would have liked on those second chances?
Well, I'll tell you, I've been here a lot, and I've seen Quanzo Martin's top 25 teams, Mike Anderson's top 25 teams, Frank Haith's top 25 teams. This is a tough place to play. Dennis has a great team. They do a phenomenal job. We knew that the majority of their shots were going to be from three. I thought we were decent there. We weren't great at it. But I think, again, we have to learn how to do a better job of just playing in space. I know they had 13 steals, which is obviously attributed part of your 18 turnovers. But I thought some of the early ones weren't steals. They were just passing errors. And we'll do a better job of getting these guys in space and make necessary corrections. But there were a lot of things, obviously, being able to outscore them around the paint, and it wasn't through post touches, it was through penetration. Our guys were able to get to the rim, and we just have to utilize early drags and opportunities in transition better the next chance we get to play a game like this.
And Harlan, what kind of clicked for you in that? I think you had 7 straight down the stretch to kind of bring the team back. What was working well for you then?
Like you said, the early drags, it kind of gave the defense a different look. It brought their big, like above the three-point line almost, and kind of give me a running start to go to the rim. So I feel like that did help all of us out, honestly. Like you said, it led to some open threes at the end. So I feel like that was a great adjustment.
Anything else?
Coach,
Thank you, guys. Yes.
Just any thoughts on Connor Vanover and how he played in the Missouri system?
Yeah, I love Connor Vanover. He's such a tremendous kid. Just phenomenal kid. So happy for him. You know, when he called me and his parents called me and asked me, you know, what I thought. I said, man, as he went through his recruiting process, and you know, he kind of told me that he was leaning this way, and this will be great. He'll figure it out. He's such a phenomenal kid. He cares about the right things, and you'll be blessed to be around a 7'5" kid of that caliber who carries that kind of smile. Phenomenal player, and that three he hit, that was a pretty big one. I've seen a lot of them.